Welcome to the Cheerful Ghost Hallowon't special. This is the Halloween special you're looking for. The Cheerful Ghost Roundtable is an open discussion with people from the Cheerful Ghost community about awesome stuff in video games, brought to you by cheerfulghost.com. I'm White Boy Slim, otherwise known as Grand Master Jedi White Boy Slim.
And I'm some crazy guy in a rooster mask, also known as Jay Dudson. And I think, White Boy, what's your costume? Is that the old Star Wars there?
Costume? What costume? Oh, I've been wearing this ever since the episode 7 trailer came out.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome. And I'm gonna take off my Hotline Miami rooster mask. As awesome as that is, it smells like I'm in a glue factory. So I'm just gonna put that like this here. I've also got this really sweet. I just wanted to show you because in Hotline Miami you can change your masks, right? So got another mask here I can change into. The old pig mask. This, you probably hear me a little bit better, but this one doesn't cover up my whole face or whatever. But going to this Halloween Pig Squad video game party thing, and going as the old Hotline Miami.
I think that's the right crowd to wear that costume.
People at work, and I was explaining to them what costume I was going to get, and then I was going to do the Hotline Miami, one of the guys from Hotline Miami, and I was going to wear the rooster mask, and they're like, yeah, but no one knows what that is. Like, no one knows what that is. Like, you're going to a Halloween party and no one knows what you are.
And I'm like, jock, just wearing a mask? What are you?
Exactly. You're just going to be the creepy rooster mask guy. And I'm like, well, I think, I'm going to like the night before Halloween, we're going to like a video game thing. And I think so some people will probably know what it is. But it's like, yeah, it's okay to go with something that not everyone recognizes exactly. Yeah, but it's weird because like almost everyone that I know that plays video knows of Hotline Miami's, but most normal people, like non-gamers, don't. So that makes sense. I mean, if you go as Link, everyone gets it, But
yeah. Well, as you know, a couple years ago, I went as Dr. Horrible, and nobody knew who I was. Everybody was all like, "Oh, you're a mad scientist." It's like, no, I'm Dr. Horrible, man. Come on.
It's true. Yeah, you could say, well, yeah. I mean, I am a mad scientist, but.
Not just any mad scientist.
Exactly, not just any. And by the way, we're turning the lights out because it's a Halloween special and it's evil and it's dark. Yeah, and it's funny because the only illumination I have is from my monitor. It's pretty big, so yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we're drinking and what we're playing. I got a standard glass of water. I'm getting over a sickness. So that's kind of why I'm sticking to water. And for whatever reason, I don't have beer around. I just don't. So just haven't bought any recently. I'm gonna put this mask like this for a while because it's really awesome.
By all means. It
also smells terrible.
That's, I guess, a bonus. Yeah. So you probably can't see it because of it's nighttime here. But I got Sam Adams Oktoberfest. It's a seasonal favorite.
Oh. Yeah, Sam's not too bad. Sam makes some good stuff. So
their fall seasonal pack, really good.
Oh, nice. I really like getting those sort of like a bunch of different kinds in a box so you can try a few different kinds. I like that.
Yeah, those are good.
I like that. Yeah. So what you been playing, man? What you been playing?
Not a whole lot recently. We've been playing Borderlands 2 as a group for a while now, but we've kind of hit a patch here where none of us can seem to coordinate a day.
The last few weeks have been rough for me. We had the con last week, Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and then the week before that we had, a few weeks before that we had Eugene Indie Game Con, so we've been, I've been out for that.
Yeah, so the only other thing I've really been playing is I decided to break out my PSP, and I've been playing the Final Fantasy Tactics remake on that, which is really good.
Yeah, and you speak really highly of that. It's a game I'm going to pick up. I'll move into sort of what I've been playing. Recently, I went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo. You can read a little bit about that on there. And I got this really sweet Nintendo Advance SP. And I like this one a lot, actually. It's got 2 different modes. Hold on, I'll start her up, Zelda. I'm playing right now the Four Swords Link to the Past.
Uh-huh.
And I'm playing Link to the Past on this. And Link to the Past on the GBA is so awesome. It's a little bit different than the original, but it's really cool. And this has got 2 different modes, like really bright, and then it'll go up a little bit of brightness and such. But the Advance is basically a magical system because it's basically like a portable Super Nintendo level system, basically. And it's really great. I got that at Retro Gaming Expo along with, like I say, Four Swords, and I've been playing that. I want to show everyone a few other things I got. I also wrote a post on Cheerful Ghost, but I got this Perler Bead Moogle. It's Mog from Final Fantasy 3/7 or no 6.
Oh, very cool.
Got that.
6.
And then I'm super stoked about Kirby's Dream Land, like actually having that in the box. Kirby's Dream Land is a really, really good game. You have that. You had that on Game Boy. Do you still have it?
Yes. I also have it on emulator on my Wii because I hacked that to play a whole bunch of different systems. So that was a good one to get kids into because it's pretty easy and straightforward. So even the really young kids can play it and kind of have fun with it. And it's just
it's a great one. I remember when you got it, and then we played it on your Game Boy, and you guys got the Game Boy, the Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo. I'm curious, did you play more Game Boy games on the Super Game Boy or the regular Game Boy? Because we didn't have the Super Game Boy, we just had the regular one.
Probably mostly on the original Game Boy. The great thing about the Super Game Boy is, it didn't require batteries. So anytime if I was at home and it didn't matter if I had a portable system or not, I'd usually play games on that, so save the batteries in my Game Boy for when I actually was on the go or something. But no, there's advantages to having a portable system.
I totally agree. In fact, I think Link to the Past shines in the Game Boy Advance purely because you can play it wherever you want. Yeah. It's really, really great. That's right. The original Game Boy only came with the ability to play with batteries, and you had to buy the battery backup. Like you had to wait. Couldn't you plug that into the wall though? Didn't it come with a wall charger?
Not the original Game Boy. I think you could buy a rechargeable battery pack for it, but it didn't come with the system. Right.
My brother had a rechargeable battery pack, but couldn't you plug it into the wall though and play it?
I think you could, yeah. Which kind of the purpose of a portable system, but
it's true. It's true. Having the batteries is good. So,
the log is there's an outlet near you.
Yeah, exactly. The portable system, that's not so portable. But like I say, I've been playing Link to the Past. I'll show everyone where I'm at in the game. If that even works, it might be too.
Yeah, somewhere I still have my Game Boy Advance. I also found this in my desk just now.
Oh, is that a Game Boy Color? Nice. So I've got about this many items in the game, which as you can see is about all of them. I've got about 2 more dungeons until the top one. Let me see. How many have I unlocked? All right, so I've got these. No one can see that. All right. I basically have dungeons 5 and 6 and 7 left to do. I sort of take things out of turn when I play Link to the Past. I go dungeon 1, of course, because you have to do that first, and then I do the dungeon. Then after that, you could take them in whatever order you want. And so after that, I take the Thieves Dungeon, because once you get the Thieves Dungeon, it gives you the glove, which means you can unlock the Tempered Sword right away and get a bunch of other stuff, basically. And then after that, I go through, 2 and whatever, just take them a bit at a time. But I recommend the Thieves Dungeon second because you get the Tempered Sword and a bunch of other things. But that's what I've been playing. And Hearthstone, of course. What?
I said I usually will. I usually do like 1 and 2, in order, just because I want to get the hook shot and everything like that.
Hook shot, right.
But then I almost always go to the Thieves Den before I go to level 3, just because I kind of hate level 3. That one's kind of
level 3. Level 3. That's the one in the woods, right?
Yeah, in the Cursed Woods.
Yeah, that's a cool level, but yeah, it is kind of frustrating in some places. It took me a while. I was like, oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, got to go here and you got to go out, and then
you got to remember which holes that you have to drop down into to get into later sections of the level. And
Right.
Good times, man.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
That trying to figure that one out back in the days before you couldn't just look it up on the internet.
Yeah. So moving on. I was our first topic I was curious about, which is like, do we think it's a good idea? And by the way, oh, I forgot to mention, we're down to just me and White Boy Slim today. Everyone else is out. They don't celebrate Halloween, so that's unfortunate. They all got this particular case of some religion just for like one day and then they're going to be done with it after this. So it's unfortunate for them. So
that, or maybe it was. I'm pretty sure Travis said he had to like go deal with a zombie outbreak. You know.
That's true. Well, it's either like you get religion for a day or it's a zombie outbreak. So
one of those two. I mean, you know.
Right. So one of the things that happened, it's happening recently, is on November 10th, we're going to see the release of Fallout 4 and StarCraft 2 at the same time. Now, this isn't usually a big deal when two video games launch at the same day, because usually one of them I'm not going to play. But in the case of both of these games, I want to play them both, starting with launch day. But I had to choose which one I wanted to play first, and it's kind of a bummer because the one I choose is probably the one that most people on Cheerful Ghost aren't going to pick. So then everyone's going to be playing this game, and I'm not going to be able to play it at the same time, so I'm not going to experience the fun around the same time they're experiencing. Which is kind of a huge bummer, I think. So the question is, like, do we think that AAA game studios should launch their games on the same day? What do you think, White Place Love? Do you think that they should do that?
Normally, I would say no, at least games of this high a profile. But, I mean, if there's any game that could stand up to Fallout or stand up to StarCraft, it'd be those two games, you know? So I have no doubt that those games are both going to do extraordinarily well in their, their opening day.
Yeah. I think the answer is, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on the games. In this case, no way. Like, I don't know. But you think of like a Venn diagram of gaming and a real-time strategy game and sort of like a post-apocalyptic, like large world game. There's not a huge overlap there. So, you know, I think that in this case, it's maybe just an unfortunate side effect. I do know that Greg also, you know, pre-ordered both games, and I don't think he's going to play them both at the same time, or maybe he'll play a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But for me, I mean, I pre-ordered Legacy of the Void, and I want to beat that first, and then I'll start Fallout 4, which also happens to coincide with a vacation that I scheduled as well. So maybe I'll get to both of them faster than some. I don't know, but
so how are you going to spend your vacation? Wandering the wasteland, you know.
Exactly. No, well, right away I'm gonna be playing StarCraft 2, but seriously, I'm bummed that I think, like, are you gonna play Fallout 4 when it comes out, or are you gonna wait a little bit?
Well, I plan on getting Fallout 4, especially seeing as how I looked at their minimum recommendations and my PC meets or exceeds them, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I have just kind of as a personal rule, when it gets that close to Christmas, I just stop buying things for myself. Because I don't want to accidentally ruin somebody's gift for me. So I won't be playing it at launch, but I will hopefully be playing it at the end of December.
That's cool. Yeah, okay. Like, give people a chance to sort of get in on getting you the present. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So I just want to voice my displeasure with Blizzard and Bethesda. Boo. But I'm sure a lot of people want to play those games like really soon. So it's either like November 10th or like later. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to move those dates out at all. So recently I posted on Cheerful Ghost about an unfortunate situation I had. So again, I was at Pro Retro Gaming Expo and I got Metroid 2 Return of Samus on Game Boy, which is a freaking classic. And I've had for a while Zelda.
Yeah, and the Game Boy port is really good. My only complaint is that they changed the sound effects when you swing your sword. Before, it used to just be like a little whoosh sound when you would swing your sword, and now
you're talking about Link to the Past for Swords.
Yeah, Links to the Past.
Yeah, I could definitely lose in Link to the Past 4 Swords. Him going because the original didn't have that. I don't think it adds much. What?
Nice. It just, kind of whooshed, but and it was cool when you upgraded your sword. It got like a deeper, more intense kind of whoosh. So.
Yeah, it did. It was like the original, the Master Sword. Then the Tempered Sword really felt like it had heft, and then the Gold Sword had more. And in this, it's just him screaming. So yeah, I kind of agree. I didn't like that. There's a few other sound effects changes where I wasn't a huge fan. I wonder if it's a little bit of the advanced chip in there, or if it's other things. So anyways, what I was talking about with the Game Boy cards here, I found out that the batteries had died, and then I looked online and someone wrote that due to the construction of the Game Boy cards, that basically all Game Boy game cartridges batteries should be toast. Travis mentioned, and you mentioned in sort of the pre-show, that what you can do is you can like get into the card, replace the battery. Well, I don't want to wreck this. That would like hurt me if I wrecked it, and I don't have the tool for that. I mean, I guess I could try it, but anyways, I'm not an electrician. I don't think most people are, and I think that's a viable option, sort of the DIY sort of like hack it up, and that sounds cool. But I think that in this case, like, I mean, emulation, like, I know a lot of companies decry it as, like piracy or stealing, but when the old stuff that you love can't function anymore, I think it's a pretty viable option. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I know, again, a lot of companies, like I'm sure Nintendo hates emulators, but clearly they also didn't put a battery in here that would last longer than 15 years, right?
Yeah, and I know technically, like cracking open, like if I were to crack open my PSP and install some,
break the warranty.
Technically, I probably am running afoul of the DMC, but
DMCA, and you're probably breaking your warranty too.
Yeah, so I guess in one sense it might be illegal, but it really shouldn't be, because it's also a part of like preservation. Video games becoming a pretty massive force in our culture, as the other art, just like any other art form, and we need a way to preserve that so that future generations, can experience it and look at it. And emulation is going to be the only way to do that to a certain extent.
I think it is, because when I can't play this anymore, and I just can't save it now, which is annoying, but I can still play it. And if I left my advance on, I could play through the whole thing. Then once that breaks, like, it's done for me. And that, I mean, I know that companies are like, we'll just buy it again, but like, I don't.
And there's only so many versions of that cartridge printed out there, I mean, I guess it's probably released it via like virtual console and stuff like that on the new Game Boys, but still, I don't want to have to rebuy the same game, several times over my lifetime just so that I can play it on whatever the current, hardware is.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think repurchasing it is for me, I don't find that to be a really good workaround. I mean, I rebought a few. I mean, there are certain kinds of contexts where I think it makes sense, but at the amount, I mean, you don't get anything more from it when you rebuy it. You know what I mean? You just get to play it on a new system. You know what I mean? It's not like I think some remakes are really awesome, like an HD remix, or like, for instance, like Grim Fandango HD, right? They remade that, and they remastered rather. Mm-hmm. And they upgraded the graphics. It's really, really different. So I think buying that's fine, because they reported it, to new systems. It's got a graphical overhaul. They've added new shading and lighting effects and stuff like that. So that's perfectly fine. I think also I've got Star Wars on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray, and each time you buy the new version, you get extra stuff. You get like well, it's in a higher format, so it's definitely a way better quality. You get extra special features, etc. But in the case of just porting game Link's Awakening and just saying rebuy it again, there's nothing there. You know what I mean? It's like there's no HD remake. There's nothing. It's it's not like Wind Waker, that they re-released on the Wii U or whatever, which I think warrants rebuying. This is just essentially the exact same game on each system that you need to keep buying. I really don't love that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I think so I think that in this instance, emulators aren't so bad, but yeah, you're definitely kind of running on the dark side of the law or whatnot. So. So I want to talk about the last thing I want to discuss is what are your thoughts of the new Star Wars Force Awakens trailer? What do you think about that? I know this isn't strictly video game related, but I could see with your outfit that maybe you're not excited. I don't know. Maybe you don't care about this. Maybe we should move on. I don't know.
I mean, the Star Wars franchise is okay. I guess I kind of like it. I'm only a little bit of a fan,
Right. Right.
I'm most
As
certain.
a minor fan, what do you think?
Trailer came out. It's, just getting really excited for a new Star Wars. Okay.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, that trailer, man. It was good. I was really excited for it. Yeah. I tried really hard to be just cautiously optimistic for the next movie, because I've been down this road before where I get all excited for a new Star Wars and then it's not great.
I don't understand what you mean. The Phantom Menace is the best movie ever made. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I know you feel that way, and you're a big defender of that, but not very many people agree with you. I hate break that bad news.
Well, clearly they're wrong. I don't understand. They don't know what good movies are. I mean, some people would say Citizen Kane. By the way, I saw Citizen Kane this year. That movie's incredible. Oh my! Everyone watch Citizen Kane. You'll be on the edge of your seat the entire time. It's so good. Anyways, the Phantom Menace is no Citizen Kane. My God, Citizen Kane makes Phantom Menace look like garbage.
Movies after you've outed yourself as an Episode 1 lover.
I'm not a lover. I just okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, so
look, I like good movies. Seriously, I promise.
Exactly. I don't have terrible. Okay, maybe it's terrible. No, the Phantom Menace is not. I don't enjoy watching it that much. All right, so my first time watching the trailer, I sort of wrote about this a little bit on Cheerful Ghost. I wasn't what I was expecting. I watched the trailer and I was like, what? What's that? I was like, okay, this is Star Wars, but I didn't quite. I was like, okay, this is different. This is new. I wasn't expecting this. And then I watched it again, and I was like, okay, this is different. And then I gave it a day, and then I watched it again, and I really, really liked what I saw. The newness was sinking in. I think what I mean by this is different, or this isn't what I was expecting, is I wasn't expecting the story to be that. I wasn't expecting the universe to be the way that it is. At least the way that the trailer presents itself, or at least the way that I interpret the trailer. So what I'll mention, not the main characters. I think the main characters look really cool. It's not that. What I think is interesting is, from the trailer, stop me if I'm wrong, but it seems like in the trailer, the rebels are not on top, right?
Possibly, yeah. It certainly.
Possibly, okay.
If they're not on top, the what is it? The First Order is definitely their equal,
Yeah. So the only thing you really see of the rebels in the trailer are a bunch of pilots outdoors, reminiscent of on Yavin, or basically, you know what I mean? It wasn't like anything hugely elaborate. It looked kind of ragtag still. Frankly, it still did, right? The rebels look like what they were in the End of Jedi, kind of. Right? Would you kind of agree with those scenes that we saw with the pilots running back and forth and Leia hugging Han? That
a little bit, yeah.
It looks like the Rebel Alliance isn't like this ass-kicking group. It looks like they're just still kind of ragtag. I could be wrong. That's kind of how
it looked in New Hope when they're, you get to the base on Yavin. It's just kind of a small group of guys running around in this old abandoned temple.
Right. And so the reason why that surprised me was because it's 30 years later. In my mind, what I thought is it's 30 years later, and the rebels were way stronger, 30 years stronger. They were 30 years of beating the Empire in the face. And clearly after Jedi, they'd been winning, and they kept winning, and more people were joining them, and they were basically dominating the galaxy. So I figured 30 years later they'd be dominating, but I see a trailer where they're not. And I'm like, what? Okay. Which is fine, honestly, making the good guys have to fight, be kind of the odd man out is actually a better story writing device. You know what I mean? It's actually better than we're kicking their ass. It's like they're like basically instead of episode 7 starting, be like, all right, guys, you ready to finally end the Empire once and for all? Yep. All right, push the button. Pew, the end. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, what kind of movie is that? I guess
I mean,
that's kind of
yes, everybody assumed that after they blew up the second Death Star, the Emperor and Darth Vader were both dead. That was kind of it for the Empire. But I'm assuming there's Star Destroyers all over the galaxy.
True. True, but then Rebels had shit too. I just figured they would have just chased them down.
Yeah. So apparently things didn't go exactly as planned after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. So that surprised me. Didn't expect to see that. Mm-hmm. The other thing I didn't expect is that, and this is a perspective thing, and it makes sense. This is why JJ needs to be in charge of this movie and not me. But at the end of the end of Jedi, we know who Luke is. We know who Han is. We know who we know Chewie is. We know Leia is. We know what they did. We know what the story is. We know the Emperor's dead. We know that Darth Vader died. We know that Nyan Nub was riding shotgun with Calrissian, on the Millennium Falcon and blasted out of the Death Star, and it was woohoo, and it blows up and all this stuff. We know that. Well, it seems in the trailer the rest of the universe doesn't know any of that, actually. Which, my question is, and it makes sense, I guess, because when you're at war, like, who knows what anyone did in a particular war? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened in all the battles in Iraq. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened in Afghanistan. I don't know the fighters involved. I know a few of the generals from, I follow politics or whatever, but I don't know all of them. I don't know all the, necessarily all the leadership.
Continent, this is taking place across galaxies. So who knows how far news travels or how well or,
Yeah. But the other thing is
still is this charge. They may be running, the news, so to speak. So who knows what kind of pass around.
Exactly. Well, that might go show that the rebels aren't doing so hot, because if the story of what happened in the Force and people don't even know, then like how strong are they? You know what I mean? And so those things right there, I was like, wow. Oh, it's like going back to Empire again or something like that in a way. I mean, I don't know if the things are so dire, and I don't want to know any spoilers, and I haven't read any, but that's what I mean, I guess. You know what I mean? And also the other thing too in the trailer was, where's Luke?
I know, he wasn't even on the poster. A lot of people were surprised.
He wasn't in the poster, right? You don't know where he's at. I think an aspect of this movie is going to be that, which is, where is Luke? Because he's clearly not in the trailer. I mean, I'm not sure he's in the trailer. I mean, I think that, the hand and then the R2 is probably him, but like, he's not, I don't know, where is, so this is all interesting information. I've heard stuff that, about Luke, and maybe he's a good guy, maybe he's a bad guy. That would be unfortunate if he was a bad guy for me as a fan, I think. But, I don't know. I mean, I
don't think they're going to go that route. I would highly doubt that.
I certainly hope not, because I don't think that, I don't know. Because I don't see anything at the end of Jedi that would have made him do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he would have said, no, I'm not going to join you, Emperor, and then immediately be like, no, I'm going to be my own Emperor. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah. God, so excited. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. But I think now where I'm at with having the trailer and seeing it and having it sort of reset what I was thinking it might be, was now I really don't know what it's gonna be. And so I'm really going into this movie with like, I don't even know, which I don't think is bad. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's actually kind of exciting to not know what's coming,
Yeah. They're not saying shit, so it's good. It's good. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap things up here. And what's gonna happen? This is a little shorter than the usual Cheerful Ghost Roundtable episode. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do a game stream tonight. We're gonna try to stream The Walking Dead. together, and we're going to make choices in the game together. So I want to thank everyone for watching this episode of the Cheerful Ghost Roundtable, brought to you by cheerfulghost.com. So Tim, now that we're coming to the end of this very special and brief Halloween special, where can people find more of you online?
You can find me on Twitter at whiteboyslim.com or on cheerfulghost.com/whiteboyslim.
And you can find me at Twitter at jdodson, or you can go to cheerfulghost/jdodson, or basically any of the posts at Cheerful Ghost. And that's where you can find me online. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you really soon.
Live long and prosper.
Fail.